My name's Grant Atkinson. I come from South Africa. These days I lead photographic trips, mostly with eyes on Africa, where photography is the main aim of what we do, and obviously for nature. I really like being in places that are unspoiled and where you can still see natural spectacles taking place and see interaction between different species. I feel most comfortable when I'm in places like that. When I was around 30 years old, I decided that there weren't enough holidays in a year of normal work to make it to all the places I wanted to go to. So I then gave up my day job and started to work as a guide. As a guide, we obviously spend long hours out in the field watching things, waiting for them to happen, and I was hoping to be able to record some of those things that I saw. So I bought an entry-level DSLR, a couple of decent lenses, and I said, that's it, one bag about that big. And then 6 months later it started to escalate slowly. Today I try to pair the two passions as best I can. When it comes to anticipating what wildlife might do, it really comes about just by watching very, very closely exactly what that animal is busy doing. Even at times when I'm not photographing, I might be sitting watching, just trying to pick up any kind of trigger movement with lions or with elephants, something that gives away their intention just before it happens. So I just spend a lot of time trying to get it right, and I don't always, but sometimes we do, and it feels good when it works to your favor. So it's a great privilege being a guide and having people that are here for the first time. It's a pretty overwhelming immersion into what's some of the most abundant wildlife left, and from some of the closest distances you can ever imagine during these kind of trips. So I have to keep reminding myself how it might feel to be that person who's just arrived here. I like to try and sort of see it through their eyes a little bit. As photographers, we really need to try and help where we can to fund these places, to promote them, to protect them. It's pretty important that people keep coming through to places like this for tourism, and especially for photography, because when people go home from visiting a wild place like this, they're actually ambassadors in a little bit of a way to all their friends and family, and if they've got good photos, it can really inspire people back home to want to travel to something similar. As photographers, we actually owe more than the average tourist does to the place that we're visiting, because not only are we coming to look, we're actually getting a really exciting time there, and we're taking away something that's permanent for us from those places. But if you step away into a place that's really, really wild, you can't help but just realize that, you know, there was another time when much of the planet was the way that we see some of these protected areas, and that there's still places where humans and their day-to-day strivings are not that important, and you really get a complete different perspective on where we fit in. And I think it's important to take that back with you when you go back.